Good day and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're having a great Friday. Playing Batman, The Enemy Within. We got lots of Batman games, man, so I figured to play some more Batman. You know? And so I figured the lights blue. Batman. You know? This is a story-based game. Let's get started. Point and click. Oh, it's syncing up. I don't know why it needs to sync. I guess it's okay. Sync away. Sync away, man. Oh, Maze Week. In Animal Crossing, what's Maze Week? Mystique, thank you for liking. We'll play the Classics Edition. So, this is like part 2 of Season 2. I'll be playing Animal Crossing early next week here. Anyway, so I'm sure, unless it's only Maze Week to the end of this week. My voice is starting to recover though, so that's a good thing. Eric, thank you for liking. Alright, it's got to sync up. Cool that it takes the choices from before. If you played the Batman of season 1 of this too. You did. It's lots of syncing, eh? Syncing. Thank you for sharing. Julian, thank you for liking. Hope you got all your things done that you needed to get done. Come on, this is exciting. I didn't know it would do all this syncing. Who knew all the syncing would happen, eh? Didn't show up. About time. You love Batman. I haven't played The Enemy Within yet, but I played the season 1 earlier. It's on my YouTube. Apparently, it's got to do a lot of syncing, probably because there's like 6 episodes or something. That's okay. We can chat while we wait. What didn't show up, Sophie? This is awesome. It's like I got the lights blue. Came out with the new Batman. Like and shared. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. We're syncing up the data. Are you excited about that? So far, it's a pretty close battle between yes and no. For did you watch the Batman? It was pretty decent, though. I enjoyed it. It was a little different. They went with a more realistic approach. Like less cartoony in a way. Maybe this will be the whole stream is just syncing up, eh? It won't be the whole stream. Who am I joking? I mean, it's got to finish eventually. Was my day? I got lots of things done at work. That's always good. Got a cold still, a little bit, but it's getting better every day. Import. I guess import save one. All right. Okay, so here, this is Telltale. You guys made The Wolf Within, or The Wolf Among Us, I mean. Borderlands, Telltale Walking Dead, and Batman. Look barely visible. It's pretty barely visible, eh? What color do we want the bat tech? Blue. Yeah. Yeah, man. Sound okay today? Mike's right there, eh? You can see it on my screen today.
One fateful night, my parents gave their lives for me. They became my heroes, their legacy untouchable. Until I learned the truth. My father, Thomas Wayne, was a criminal. He ruled over Gotham from the shadows. And everything I thought I knew about myself changed forever. The children of Arkham exposed the truth about my father to Gotham. Their attack turned friends into enemies and threw the city into chaos. I was committed to Arkham Asylum, where I escaped with the help of a mental patient named John Doe. After a bloody battle, I put an end to it all in the catacombs beneath the city. The Penguin, Two-Face, and Lady Arkham were the first real challenge I faced as the Batman, but they would not be the last.
Spring has arrived in Gotham, and with it comes City Hall's quarterly crime report. Crime is way down since the fall of the Children of Arkham, marking another triumph for newly minted Police Commissioner James Gordon. In a statement this morning, Gordon credited his success to the public partnership between the police and the Batman. He praised the mysterious vigilante for his sacrifice, describing him as essential to the security of the city. Things are looking up, citizens. After the long, dark winter comes the thaw. Now, if only the nights could...
Uh-oh, we got the Riddler happening.
...would be happy.
We're at the Virago.
There it is.
Romy Mori, import-export magnate, one-time Pipex CEO, international arms dealer. The world sees Mori as a legitimate businessman, a philanthropist who gives to charity, not a criminal getting rich off the suffering of innocence. A masterful performance. I wonder...
He's got like some earbuds.
In sight for that long. Does he forget who he really is?
What do you think, Master Bruce? Must be hard to stay true to you.
I gotta choose quickly here.
I don't. I never forget what drives me. Protecting the innocent from people like Mori. That stays the same no matter what mask I wear.
Don't I know?
He lost an eye.
Maintain. If there are cracks in Mori's, we'll find them.
The GCPD already bugged his penthouse and found nothing, meaning
That if he's doing arms deals in Gotham...
They happen on the casino floor. I need to find a way to hear what Mori is saying.
standing by for support.
He's got the contacts, man.
The Bat computer can intercept his communications.
Consumer model. Could be a good way to hear Mori's conversation. Al, I'm hacking into Mori's phone.
Encrypting your signal. Last thing we want is for him to know you're here.
We're in. You should be able to pick up audio from Mori's phone.
Is everyone enjoying themselves? Don't worry. I won't tell anyone with a badge.
He's on a roll. It's only a matter of time before he gets too chatty.
Try to blend in.
So, I've been sitting over there wondering, what's Bruce Wayne doing in a place like this?
Gambling, obviously.
Fancier casinos.
I'm looking for something different. New thrills.
Well, it's a good thing you're here. And it's a good thing I'm here.
You? What in the hell are you doing here?
Oh, there's Riddler.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. I begin and have no end. And I end all that begins. Who am I?
I don't give a damn. I told you 10 times. Our arrangement is over.
Death, Maury. I am death.
Something's happening, and it doesn't look like a deal.
The man in the hood. I remember him from your father's time. I think that's Riddler.
Is something wrong? You seem distracted. Bruce.
You think your gibberish intimidates me?
Stay close and keep your head down.
Excuse me?
Bullets are about to fly.
Okay.
No one threatens me in my own casino. Security!
Sir, it's time to leave.
For you? An easy one. What question can you never answer yes to?
I don't give a crap. Let's go.
Wrong. The correct answer is, are you dead?
Oh, he got him. Whoa.
Now, let's get started.
Get out of there. Get your suit.
Al, let Gordon know what's happening.
Right away.
Hey, no one leaves.
Uh-oh. I don't know if it wants me to do the left controller or the right stick.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
She doesn't suspect nothing.
Run now.
What you did to that man, knocking him out like that, how did you do that? I had a different impression of you from TV. You never seemed that capable.
Yeah, I'm a man of many talents.
That's an understatement.
Well, come on, man. I just had karate lessons.
Commissioner Gordon on the line. Scrambling audio now.
Gordon.
Batman, what's the status?
Multiple gunmen, hostages at the casino. A madman in a mask.
Riddler's back in Gotham.
Riddler? He hasn't been seen in years.
Well, he's putting on quite a show.
We should put the codpiece on first. Timothy, thank you for liking.
I'll be there shortly.
Be ready for a fight.
Please, we can make the deal. Anything you want.
Our issues can't be solved with handshakes, Maury. This is what happens when you back out of a deal with me. There's only one way you're getting out of this alive. You have to solve a riddle. And I choose my words carefully if I were you. Listen closely.
Guy's in trouble.
No, please, don't do this.
Without fingers, I point. Without arms, I strike. Without feet, I run. Who am I?
I've got visual.
That drone fully functional.
I'll need a place to drop in without being noticed. Time for some recon.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? A mind bender that scratches at the very nature of our existence. The mere pondering...
Riddler.
A terror from the past. I never thought I'd see him on our streets again. He's not to be taken lightly.
Rattling around like a rat in your skull.
Some kind of torture device.
Doesn't seem like he's getting out until he guesses the riddle.
This Riddler.
Hey, Asta, how are you?
Imagination.
Remember, choose your words carefully, Maury. You only have so many fingers.
Riddler's taken hostages, casino patrons, innocent bystanders.
They're clearly not his main target. Must be an insurance policy.
Is there anything else to look at? Oh, there's something over here.
Cashier's booth. That'll do. Just need to take out the guard first.
Audio playback fully functional.
Time for a distraction.
Timothy asked me what I was replacing Batman with, and I said Batman, and he said, oh, it's a secret. Like, be quiet.
I'm losing patience, Maury. Are you expecting a hint? Give me an answer.
Batman, we can't get in. The front's covered by gunmen and they've got the back barricaded with blackjack tables. How should I deploy when we're inside? I'm relying on your eyes and ears. What's the best course of action?
We need a distraction. Find a way to limit their line of sight.
Sounds like a plan.
Hey, Veronica, how are you?
You're completely insane.
No, I don't believe that's it.
Oh!
I'll clear a path. Wait for my signal.
Give him hell. We're counting on you.
I think I lost a finger.
You're ahead of schedule. I'm a little busy right now, but I'll see if I can fit you in. Not him, the hostage! Shoot the hostage!
Oh! I'm good, thank you.
Hiya, Bats. The Batman clearly isn't using his head. Break it open.
With pleasure.
Uh-oh, we gotta fight the pipe wrench man. Got him.
I've heard stories in the streets about you, Batman. You're the biggest name in Gotham since... well, since I left town. Everyone's very impressed with you.
Oh, another finger.
Impressed. Gotham's criminals have become zealots and thugs in cheap suits. And you, I've come home to find a wannabe in my chair. Eating my goddamn porridge. This is my city.
Gotham has forgotten you, Riddler. Crawl back under your rock before you get hurt.
Says the man with a hook at his throat. You're supposedly the world's greatest detective. Yet here you are, completely at my mercy. I don't see much evidence of that. I expected more of a battle from you, Batman. Something longer. More of a match of wits. While my men mop up what passes for law enforcement in this town. Oh, you have to be kidding. Clever, but not smart enough. Let me show you how it was done back in the day.
Oh!
Brawling like a common street hood. It just doesn't do it for me.
Uh-oh.
Follow the power lines. There must be a weak point.
That was close. Oh, I didn't realize it was a...
That's cheating.
Think I care about your rules?
I'd heard you were a man who followed a code. Why would you save that dirtbag's life? Maury made his money running guns, trading off the suffering of war.
I save people. It's what I do.
That was close.
Your naivete is just embarrassing. I save people. You should concentrate on saving yourself.
Oh.
Enough of this! You know how to scrap. I'll give you that. But it's not enough. Let's see how you do with something a little more cerebral. Better hurry, detective. Solve my puzzle soon. Or people are gonna get hurt. And we know you can't let that happen.
That little box should protect him. Ooh, left trigger. Almost got crushed by a ball. Uh-oh.
You should have called us before going in, Gordon.
Waller?
After all, we're here to help.
There's Amanda Waller. I think that's her name. You haven't seen the new Batman movie yet? This isn't the same thing as the new Batman movie, but it's a Batman adventure at least.
Circuitry and
McDad, thank you for liking.
obviously dangerous. The Bat computer will be able to analyze further.
It looks like we're going against the Riddler, who was also in the new Batman movie.
Your days are numbered, Bat Freak. We'll see each other.
Yeah, whatever.
Keep one eye on the sky.
How am I doing? I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Your goddamn heads.
Tell me all about it down at the precinct.
The Riddler's right hand in custody. Not a bad result, all told. Riddler used to leave clues at all his crime scenes. Always thought he was smarter than the people trying to catch him. Thought we could use help dragging him down. You got
I think the capital F is throwing you off.
Riddler's heyday was a dark
Oops, I
time
forgot
in
to say
Gotham.
something.
What we just saw, he hasn't.
Oh, I did say it.
age.
Get Fernandez on it right away. Commissioner Gordon.
Brace yourselves. Just so you know, this woman has a lot of juice with the governor. Rub her the wrong way, I could end up on foot patrol till I retire.
My people are trained for situations like this, Gordon. We'd have Riddler in custody. So, you're the legendary...
Lisa, thank you for liking.
I've heard a great deal about you. So much so, I don't know if I should believe the hype.
I haven't had the pleasure of an introduction, Miss...
A pleasure, huh? Most people don't usually call it that.
This is Amanda Waller, director of the agency.
What are the feds doing here?
Yeah, I had their name right.
Riddler's their case. The GCPD has been asked to open our doors to them. Give them whatever they need.
We've been tracking that maniac for some time. No one knows more about him than we do. World-class criminals like Riddler. They're kind of our specialty.
Sounds like the expertise we need.
Keep that attitude and we'll get along just fine. We're not always...
I don't know if Amanda Waller is a bad person or not.
When Thomas Wayne and Falcone ran the city. He disappeared so suddenly and for so long, everyone thought he was dead.
Mind you, they twist things around in these the adventure sometimes.
Riddler's back, and if these theatrics are anything to go by, he wants the whole city to know. My people tell me you did...
I had a Whopper tonight for dinner.
You and me? I bet we'd make a damn fine team. I heard how you dealt with Lady Arkham. Not to mention that filth, Oswald Cobblepot. We could do great things together if we joined forces.
Seems that way to me. We should work together to bring Riddler in.
Phil, thank you for liking.
Don't be too hasty, Batman. The agency has a rep for being ruthless.
The only real problem with your setup is who you're working with. Local law enforcement clearly can't cut it.
I got a local crime rate says otherwise. Ms. Waller...
Please, Commissioner. Tear gas. In a hostage situation, we got an ambulance full of civilians with their eyes swollen shut.
Never had any interest in watching Batman?
You GCPD
Been around a long time. It's a classic story at this point.
You're putting all this on me?
You're the commanding officer, aren't you?
You can't put this on Jim. I called for a distraction.
Then maybe you're not as impressive as I thought. I'm here to prevent this incompetence in the future. I gotta get a security detail on Maury while he's in the hospital. Agent Avesta will fill you in on what we know so far. As a token of...
Misty, thank you for liking.
Operation.
The nerve on her. Don't tell these people a thing, especially about that puzzle. This is our town. We're the ones that'll catch Riddler.
Ooh, I thought you was gonna bite your head off for a second.
Look, be like Toonies? Yeah, no doubt.
Special Agent Iman Avesta, Field Intelligence Specialist on the Riddler case. And my partner, Agent Blake.
How do you do?
I put together this psychological profile of Riddler. You'll see when you read it. He's changed. For your eyes only, if you catch my drift. The target of the casino attack.
They're sure willing to work with
Any
Vigilante.
idea what Riddler wanted with him? We figure it has something to do with why he's back in Gotham.
I heard them talking about some kind of deal.
Any idea what?
No, but it'd be safe to say they didn't come to terms.
Thanks. That's a help.
Does look like toonies or Avengers shields.
I'm Gotham born and raised, you know. My dad ran a store in the City Stadium.
Oh, geez, eh?
I just wanted to say it's a real honor to meet you. I do have something I want to ask, though. The criminally insane. You're drawn to them, aren't you? There's something in you that pulls you towards the danger. The chaos, the energy. You can't keep away, can you?
Oh, crap, I forgot to
I'm
push
sorry.
something.
I didn't mean to pry.
That's an answer, too, you know?
I think I know you a little better now.
Well, really, I just was turning on the fan on my computer.
Touch. Agent.
Otherwise, I would have
Now,
answered.
before you go, Gotham's your city. I respect that. But you should know I don't have to play nice. I'm letting you hunt the Riddler for now.
Oh, yeah, now I remember who Amanda Waller is.
Or
You seen the Suicide Squad? She's in charge of the Suicide Squad.
really won't like. You get me? There's a lot of ways this could go.
Full disclosure, Riddler left me this puzzle.
What is it?
I don't know yet. He said I had to solve it or people would get hurt.
Then you best get on it. Let's keep being honest with each other.
Have you seen the Suicide Squad? Or any of the Suicide Squads? There's been a couple of them now. We're up at 4:39 a.m. That's like Timothy's bedtime.
What an eventful evening. I've taken the liberty of preparing some refreshments.
Thanks, Al. I need to focus. Maybe music will help. Can't go wrong with the classics.
Look at that, how he takes that record out, eh? Slick. Hopefully classic's okay for Facebook's flaming.
When you are.
Let's get to work.
I gotta walk around now?
Oswald Cobblepot. The Penguin. My oldest friend.
The Vicky Vale in the last season, Vicky Vale was Lady Arkham. Vicky Vale. Vicky Vale. Who's that? Vicky Vale. And Two-Face was in the last one too. We'll take the long route around the Batcave, get a little tour. Obviously Alfred wants to talk to us over there. Their inspection.
This is his latest model. Never ceases to impress.
Gunners. Smoke grenades. Batarangs. Grappling gun. Bat suit. A long way home. There's more than one bat suit. Let's look at the Batmobile.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Don't want to run it too long. It'll be bad carbon dioxide, eh?
No explosives detected, no radioactivity. Nothing dangerous at all so far. Computer, run another scan. I want to be absolutely sure this thing is safe.
Like a
Also,
homing device or
I
something?
took the liberty of digging up everything I could find on the agency. There's plenty here. Know your enemy and all that. It comes and goes. Ever since the kidnapping and all the other business with Lady Arkham.
Alfred.
No, don't you worry about me. I should be fine. It was worse after my first tour of duty.
Your family, Alfred. We worry about family.
Thank you, Bruce. It'll pass.
Alfred will remember that. I'm not gonna read this. You guys want to read it real quick? When did Alfred get an eye patch? Something happened in season 1 of this game, which I played a long time ago, so I don't remember what it was.
The agency. The public face of a shadow committee of military leaders, intelligence experts, and
Because your choices make a difference.
civil rights violations, domestic black sites, decentralized accountability.
This information, it's all before Waller took over the director position. Perhaps
Have you seen Suicide Squad? Because Amanda Waller's in that.
Maybe, but the agency's empowered to override local law enforcement with impunity.
Batman's got some competition in town. I wonder if we need be worried about losing our unpaid and thoroughly exhausting job, I mean.
We have a coalition in the Riddler. That puts us on the same side.
You really are a different Batman these days, aren't you? Silver linings in all things.
Well, you warned me about keeping my paranoia down to acceptable levels. Thought I'd give it a try.
Was it on Netflix? Oh.
Yes. Riddler terrorized this city long before you were Batman.
Gotham's original costumed criminal.
Yes. To have him returned, it's unsettling. I remember when he was the scourge of the underworld. Even Carmine Falcone gave him a wide berth. He was presumed dead for so long. Why come back to Gotham?
Well, he seemed to have a prior relationship with Mori. Some kind of axe to grind. Let me
Netflix laid off a bunch of employees, eh?
The agency realized Riddler was still alive when he orchestrated a prison break at Peña Duro.
My men here say you let yourself get caught, Mr. Riddler.
Just Riddler.
Why willingly turn yourself in?
Oh, Mr. Warden, to get everyone else out, of course. That wasn't obvious.
The man's deranged. If you ask me, he needs help. He's clearly sick. The man is in urgent need of a doctor.
I know just the place for him. Plenty of room in Arkham Asylum.
Next to him, most of the inmates seem like a picture of health.
What was that?
Didn't see your face. It's
Larry, don't thank you for liking.
I think I'll take it with me.
I take everything back.
There's the different characters, I guess. You reading this? Which one's this one again? Oh, Montoya. Lucius. There's Alfred. Maybe he'll say why his eye is gone. Yeah, Lady Arkham did something to him. I can't remember.
Let's see what Riddler's little gift is all about.
Solve my puzzle soon, or people will get hurt. Riddler's MO hasn't changed in all these years.
There's a record.
Writing engraved along the rim. I have an eye, yet cannot see. Who am I?
That sounds familiar. I've heard it before.
Don't happen to remember the answer, do you?
Sadly, no.
The eye of a needle.
But how does that relate to the object in question?
Maybe
it's a record.
telling us how to use it.
Sounds very plausible.
Look at these strange grooves.
Let's look at the movie tickets.
Never forget.
Hey Aaron, how are you? I'm bad at computer. I'm gonna go to the record player. Where was it? It's on the right there. Guess I could have took the easier entrance to it, but
needle. A record needle.
boy, I figured out faster than Batman, eh?
Halfway there, Batman. Means you've got half a chance of stopping a whole lot of pain. To be honest, you're already doing better than I thought. But don't sit around feeling pleased with yourself. Unless you want to see me tear this city apart.
I suppose you're going to look in there.
An open invitation from the Riddler? Of course. Huh. Looks like a radio bands or waveforms, something. I'm not sure what I'm looking at or how any of it is actually displaying.
And that sound.
What? Oh, I'm not really sure about any of it. Get Lucius on the line, will you?
The homing needle.
Hey, Alfred.
Good morning, Lucius. I hope we're not interrupting your breakfast.
My youngest is probably stealing all the bacon, but duty calls. What's up?
This is a puzzle from the Riddler. There's a strange waveform pattern I can manipulate inside that needs your expertise.
Yeah, okay. I can meet you at Wayne Tower in a little bit. We'll, fire up the R&D lab.
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important, Lucius.
No, don't worry about it. It's actually gonna be a big day for me. Tiffany starts at Wayne Enterprises.
Tiffany? Really?
Your daughter, working alongside you. How wonderful.
Certainly is. Bruce, I'll see you soon.
Bye, Lucius. Can't wait to see Tiffany.
Bruce isn't apparently involved in the hiring process, I guess.
I'll be at Wayne Tower.
It drives an awful lot like the Batmobile. Yeah, Timothy, do you remember you asked what was going to replace Batman? And I said Batman.
Oh, excellent. Glad I caught you. I have some good news to share.
Good to hear, Regina. It's what I've come to expect, with you as Wayne Enterprises chairperson.
I just talked to the board, and they couldn't be more pleased with how our partnership with GCPD is going. Seems like you made the right call when you decided to take that contract over the Arkham remodel. The Gazette's running a piece about it.
Look, I would love to hear all the details, but
Was there a nightclub next door?
gotta run to.
Well, I don't mean to pry, but what's in that case? Seems like an odd thing to be carrying around the office.
Oh, this is just something for Lucius.
I see. Well,
Nosy Nelly, eh?
to run to. We'll pick up this conversation this afternoon.
Sounds great. You're in my chair.
Just updating the encryption on your bat tech. But if you want me to stop?
Oh no, the seat is all yours.
This is the thing you were talking about?
One of Riddler's puzzles. Some kind of
Guys, all
test.
comfy.
Show me. Any idea what he's planning?
Not yet. That's why I need your help. If his history is anything to go by, he left us a clue. A psychological profile of Riddler.
That was supposed to be for my eyes only.
Knowing how his mind works, this should come in handy.
No sign of explosives or poison. Already scanned for that in the cave.
Would you look at that? Micro-pulse waveform. And the sound it's giving off.
A signal, maybe? I couldn't decipher it. I was hoping you could help with that.
I'll see what I can do.
One, thank you for liking.
What in the...
It's not one of mine.
Think fast.
Just told Riddler where he was, I guess.
Tiffany?
Oh. His daughter.
Hey, Bruce.
My God, Tim.
It's been a while.
Sneaking out of orientation your first day?
I just wanted to say hi to my new boss. I got you a present. A micro-drone prototype I developed in my spare time. High-end AV, stealth black shell, programmable for autonomous observation. Small, quiet, and super smart. Just like its designer. Not bad, huh? You always had a thing for toys. So hard to know what to get a man who has everything.
I love it. Thanks, Tiffany.
Well, I guess it's not bad.
Not bad. See what I had to deal with growing up? Huh. There's something different about you.
There is?
I can't quite put my finger on it. But you look...
Well, please just don't say old.
Well, now that you mention it.
Hey, play nice. Bruce has had a rough year.
Y'all, thank you for liking.
Interesting.
Don't.
Too late, already touching.
Just be careful.
What a strange thing. The circuitry design. It's elaborate and unorthodox. Almost intentionally so. Like whoever put it together was kind of showing off. Huh. Micro pulse waves? This
He's gonna figure out he's Batman.
Seriously, what is this thing? I've never seen anything like it. It's like whoever made it.
It's pretty cool, huh?
I don't know if cool would be the word I would use. I can hear it hum. What does it do?
That's what we're trying to work out.
You guys are lucky I'm here to help.
Help with...
Tiffany did graduate first in her class at Cornell in molecular...
Is watching you play Batman count as watching Batman? Well, it's not the movie.
Figure out what it does.
All right, if you think you can help, then be my guest.
Oh, I know I can help. I just gotta let him know that I won't be finishing up.
It's
all
like
the
watching
shit.
comic Batman in a way.
Oh, I was planning on swinging by the manor after work to see Alfred. I heard he wasn't doing so well. That he was having some issues with his health.
He would love that.
I hope he isn't still angered with me and Luke about that incident with the china.
Well, you know Al. No one messes with his dinnerware.
Catch you guys later.
Welcome aboard, Tiffany.
Thanks, boss.
Guess that's okay if everybody knows he's Batman, right?
I never told her, you know. Told her what I really do at Wayne Enterprises. What we do. If you're willing to pull her into this Riddler project, why not consider bringing her into the fold? Into the mission? We're going to need help if we're going to be dealing with the likes of Riddler.
Well, if she's anything like you...
She's better than me.
Okay, then let's give her a shot.
Great. I'll start thinking about how we can broach the subject with her. In the meantime, Riddler's puzzle will be a fine start.
Well, shall we go down to the lab?
Actually, the equipment we need is down in my office. We'll get this taken care of in no time.
Mr. Wayne.
Yes?
I'm Special Agent Avesta. This is my partner, Special Agent Blake.
Well, I guess I'll see you in a bit. I'll be down in my office.
I'll be down in a few.
No worries. I'll, start without you.
Sorry for the unannounced visit. We're with the agency's Behavioral Analysis Unit. We just came by to ask a few questions.
Please, come in. Make yourselves at home. Can I get my assistant to get you anything? Coffee, water, donuts?
Don't worry. This won't...
Donuts! They're gonna be sneaky. They've got the file there.
This office, it really represents you.
Well, I like to think so.
Is this you?
Yeah.
How old?
I don't know, 7, 8, maybe?
So happy.
Oh, or sneaky.
After everything you've been through, I don't know how you still do it.
Do what, exactly?
It wasn't long ago when you were the most hated man in Gotham, yet you still give so much back to the city. Why do you continue to help Gotham? Most people wouldn't be so charitable after that. What's that all about?
How's it going down there?
I, left that file on your desk. Think you could bring it down?
I'll be down in just a second. Sorry about that. What were you saying?
I was saying you're a bit of a mystery.
What is it you want?
The agency recently brought me in to draft a psychological portrait of the Riddler. We've been tracking him for months, but haven't been able to find him.
Anything I can help with?
See, I told you he'd be cooperative. Agent Blake thought you'd be cagey, defensive, based on your history. Guess he was wrong.
My history?
A lot of things happened to you last year, and not all of them were good. You put yourself at risk when you helped bring in your friend Harvey Dent. He was a violent psychotic at the time, almost destroyed the city. Come to think of it, you've been associated with quite a few psychopaths over the years.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. The criminally insane, they seem drawn to you. Either
It's
that,
'cause
or
he's
you're
rich.
often in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yes, having money and fame makes you an easy target. I've had my fair share of crazies knocking on my door.
Like this guy. I think you'd know him as John Doe.
Look at his Joker.
We understand that it was during your stay in Arkham where you and John met and became friends. From the sound of it, you two were close.
John may very well say that, yes.
But not you.
A conversation in a mental hospital does not make us friends, much less close.
I see. According to hospital records, you and John were involved in a riot.
They captured the whole incident on video.
I saw you flee after John cut another inmate, a man named Victor Zaz.
Zaz.
Several people were hurt.
I got out of there as fast as I could.
I don't blame you. You must have been scared. John was discharged from Arkham months ago.
Zaz is a psycho.
No one has seen or heard from him since. I was thinking maybe you have.
Why would you think that?
He listed you as his emergency contact. Sounds like you two were pretty close to me.
Okay, now I'm a little creeped out. I knew him for, what, a day?
Maybe you made an impression on him.
Well, he's a millionaire.
So,
Supposedly he has more money than Elon.
did he?
Not quite as much as Bezos.
He's a person of interest.
Something.
You see, we've got a wall in the office with a bunch of photos pinned to it. Two-Face, Penguin, Lady Arkham, you know, Gotham's most notorious. They've got all these little strings connecting them to one another, like a web. And you, my friend, are at the center. You keep pretty strange company for someone who wants everyone to think they're such a stand-up guy.
I'm sorry, are you accusing me of something?
Should we be?
You know more than you're letting on, Mr. Wayne. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe you don't trust us. Or maybe you're a criminal, like your father. Maybe you're not the hero people think you are.
You've got the wrong idea. That's an evacuation warning. It's time for you to leave.
We'll pick this up another time.
They're doing the TV cop shakedown there.
Bruce, get my daughter out of the building. Get yourself out.
What are you talking? What did you figure out?
I've solved the Riddler's puzzle, Bruce. Riddler really pulled a good one over on us.
Lucius, please tell me what's wrong.
Tell Tiffany that I love her. That I'm sorry I wasn't around more.
Lucius?
We really made a difference, didn't we, Batman?
Lucius!
Uh-oh.
One killed and 14 injured after a tragic explosion.
Not Lucius.
He is opening an investigation into what they are calling an industrial accident.
Wayne Enterprises' chief technology officer, Lucius Fox, died last Tuesday in the violent blast. A small service is being held for the tech giant and father of 3 at Divinity Church this Sunday.
Man. Lucius was his best employee.
You don't have to worry, Lucius. Tiffany, I'm gonna take care of your family. As if they were my own.
Just like Lucius took care of you. Lucius helped raise you, Bruce. It was family. Riddler's attack on the casino was one thing. But this is personal. We can't let him get away with it. Riddler struck at the heart of our operations and tore a family apart in the process.
Don't worry, Al. I will find him and bring him to justice. He will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
I'm glad to see your sense of duty still reigns supreme. Of course, it won't bring poor Lucius back. I can't imagine how devastated she must be.
It's kind of Batman's fault.
Fathered in such a violent way.
Her first day on the job, too.
Yes, she can use all the support she can get.
Hey, Tiffany.
I still can't believe he's gone. None of this feels real.
Your dad was like family to me. If there's anything I can do, anything at all, please let me know.
Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate it. He loved working for you, you know? They hardly saw him at home because of it. Mom used to complain when my little brother was growing up without a dad. Now I guess it's true. He was so busy. I can remember the last time I got to hang out with him. Just father and daughter. Just thought there'd be more time. There were so many things I wanted to talk to him about.
I know it's no consolation, but the work your father was doing, it was important.
More important than family.
That's not what I meant.
Well, what did you mean?
I guess you chose the wrong one there.
I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't blame you.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Just let it out.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it all.
So much for bringing her onto the team.
There was hardly anything left. What were you guys working on that could have caused that? It doesn't quite add up. Please tell me.
Tiffany, I will tell you soon, just not here.
What do you mean? Why not?
It's not the right time.
Odd, Bruce. What are you mixed up in? Fine. Just tell me one thing. That weird disc. Was that what killed him? Did you put my father's life at risk for that? I'm begging you. Just tell me that one thing.
I thought it was safe, Tiffany. I really did. I had no idea Lucius could get hurt. Please forgive me.
Forgive you? I hope you can forgive yourself.
Uh-oh, our relationship with Tiffany has changed.
Whatever you got my father into, I will find out. And I will shout it to the world.
So sorry, really. It's such a shame. At least he went out with a bang, right?
Uh-oh.
We can all be grateful.
You knew my father.
Well, no, but... Whoa, whoa. What the heck?
Seriously, Bruce? This guy's with you.
I'm so sorry. I will handle this.
Jeez, Bruce, that's quite a grip. Gonna leave a bruise for sure.
What are you doing here?
I told you I'd see you again, didn't I? You and me.
He kind of looks like William Dafoe.
Stitch. Look, I got you a little something, just to mark the occasion. I knew you'd be hurting, see? I thought it might make you feel better.
Thank you, John. That's very considerate of you.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure. First time at a funeral, you see?
Goblin.
The littlest things.
This is Joker. Green Goblin is Marvel.
It hasn't been easy for me out here, you know?
Or I think he's Joker. Might be Hush. They look similar.
Freedom that gets to you.
I think.
There's so damn much you hardly know what to do with it. It's not like Arkham. Sometimes I miss those padded walls. You knew where the lines were drawn, which ones not to cross.
How did you get out? Oh my god, did you escape?
Who's William Dafoe? He was Green Goblin in the movie.
She always.
In the earlier Spider-Man movies.
If everyone could please take their seats, we will begin.
Would you just sit down?
Today we gather to honor the memory of Lucius Fox. He was a friend, a father, a husband, a leader.
You are crashing my friend's funeral, John. You better have a good reason.
Oh, I do. I need that, favor you owe me. You know, you might have been a little reluctant at the time, but if it wasn't for me, you'd still be in Arkham. Sleeping off your meds in the rec room with Zaz. You're gonna do right by me, aren't you? I know you're a man of your word.
I never made that promise.
I got into a lot of trouble for what we did, Bruce. You saw that place, saw those doctors.
Matthew tells us.
You see, I met some inspiring people out here, made some new friends, made a kind of pact. They're amazing, Bruce. That special breed who live by their own rules. They remind me of you, of your father.
So who are they?
You'll find out when you meet them. They're looking to bring someone like you into the fold. You will meet them for me, won't you? Please? I've got a lot writing on this. I already told them you would. Please don't let me down.
Gosh, John, I don't know. My schedule's just so packed these days.
Please don't blow me off. Not after what we went through together.
Maybe try my secretary.
Disappointing. You know, I spoke so highly of you. I told them you'd fit right in. Just makes me want, I don't know, lash out. Shh.
We're here to mourn. Please.
You shush me again. You'll be mourning the loss of your teeth.
Oh, easy, easy, John. Take a deep breath, okay? Calm down.
You're right, Bruce. Sorry, Bruce, that outburst, it's antisocial, I know. Dr. Leland says I have a hard time handling rejection. I think it's the stress. You see, I've got this enemy. Real piece of work. Calls himself the Riddler.
How do you know the Riddler?
Know him? I want to rip his eyeballs out. He's a thief and a killer, and worst of all, he's rude. I tried to let the authorities know the kind of lowlife they're dealing with, but... Wait a minute, you know him too. Of course, a man of Bruce Wayne's caliber knows everyone, so I shouldn't be surprised. Not your usual crowd, though. Or so I thought.
If I were you, I'd stay away from Riddler, John. He's dangerous.
Oh, well, you don't have to tell me twice, buddy boy.
Unlocks, thank you for liking.
Army know-it-all would never leave his hold.
You mean his hole? You know where he is.
No, not exactly, no. Maybe I said too much.
I'm your friend, John. You can trust me.
I'm his
Trust
friend.
is the mainstay of any healthy relationship. I want that for us, Bruce. I really do. Yeah, I really don't know much. I heard the egomaniac always made people go to him for meetings. Somewhere in the East End.
Where in the East End?
Honestly, that's all I know. And even that might be out of date. If you're so eager to find him, why don't you let me help you? I'll find out where he is and get back to you. See if I can't find out where that jerk puts his head down. It'd be just like the old days.
I would appreciate that, John.
That's what friends are for, Bruce. Just meet mine later, like I asked. Look, I think I outstayed my welcome here. I'm just gonna slip away. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's been so nice catching up, Bruce. There's trust between us.
Me too, John.
Be in touch. Goodbye, Bruce. Until next time.
Intriguing fellow. Certainly not one for decorum. I don't think that outburst went unnoticed.
Whatever you say about John, he gave me a lead on Riddler's location. Inform Gordon. Tell him to drag up GCPD records on Gotham's East End. And tell him we're on Riddler's trail.
Superhero knee drop.
Hard to do these days. There's one thing for the bad parts of town to get uglier, but when places like Wayne Tower start falling apart, makes you wonder what's next. I'll bet Bruce Wayne is wondering the same thing. Seems like the world's got it out for that guy. Spends some time in Arkham, gets drugged through the dirt by the media for something he didn't do.
Bruce Wayne picked himself up once. He could do it again.
He certainly showed us that much, didn't he? You said you had a lead on Riddler.
Somewhere East End.
Why am I not surprised? East End's been a no man's land since Harvey Dent blew it up. I've tried to get more patrols out there, but City Hall's not giving up the funds. The area between 42nd and 48th, more or less lawless.
That narrows down the search at least. Looks like gang activity's heating up along 43rd.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Hey, I get it, but we're stretched thin, I told you. Riddler's a loner. I bet he's avoiding that area.
The land at the end of 44th was recently purchased anonymously.
The only thing there is an old water tower. Something feels fishy about that. My gut tells me that's the place.
Agreed.
Nice
Oh,
work, Batman.
Run right.
Leslie pans out
Try, I
all
guess.
Eat her words. I heard you got all buddy-buddy with her after I was out of earshot. Told her about that puzzle you got from Riddler. I have to tell you, I got a bad feeling about her.
How so?
It's the way she goes after criminals. She's ruthless.
He is
Puts her
ruthless.
people at risk. And believe me, she doesn't let due process get in her way. She'll stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to get her man. It doesn't sit right with me.
As far as law enforcement goes, Jim, you are the best of it. I don't know many cops with as much heart as you.
I appreciate you saying that. Waller, she doesn't see that as a strength. I was ordered to give her updates on breaks in the Riddler case. If there's a chance he's there, we should probably let her know. Don't want to give her ammunition with the governor. She's already got him breathing down my neck about what went down at the casino.
Notify Waller. She's proven useful so far.
Just be careful around her, huh? She moved her people into my downtown precinct without so much as a plea. I tell you, Batman, she keeps on chipping away at my authority. I'm gonna crack.
Then let's find Riddler before it comes to that.
I'll have my people call her people on the way. Riddler won't feel so clever after we come knocking.
He's out of there.
No one's home.
I told Waller about our lead on this place. She's caught up in briefings, can't get here for a while. She said she appreciates the cooperation. Not exactly cozy, is it?
Let's see what we can learn. Someone's keeping a scrapbook.
Vain, isn't he?
The monkey statue.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
Uh-oh, it's a trap.
Damn it. It's stuck.
No way to open it from the inside.
Then how do we get out?
Use the bat bomb.
We go in.
After you.
It's full of bombs.
Give me a good, honest crack house any day. Oh, God.
Special Agent Mario Fernandez.
Holy crap. He's one of Waller's.
One shoe is missing.
The soul of the other one's almost completely melted through.
The man bit his tongue clean through.
He must have suffered a shock or a sudden jolt.
You like the new Batman movie? It was good, eh?
One of his pupils is fully dilated, the other's contracted. A clear sign of brain trauma.
Huh. There's no sign of a blow to the head.
Anything in his ear?
There's some hemorrhaging from the ears.
His eardrums must have burst. He was trying to call for help. The phone isn't getting a signal.
Damn it. Me either.
And they took a great time to make it. Made a better movie.
He's missing.
Yeah, it's probably true, eh?
On the right hand.
We saw this before. The victim in the casino. That's a hell of an invitation.
Riddler's playing games.
Bet he tried to play along.
We can learn from his mistakes. Let's find out what he did wrong.
I gotta go to the washroom real quick. I'll be right back. Thank you for being patient. If you were indeed patient. Mooncat, thank you for liking. The lighting is making my flag look bad. What do you mean?
Scratches on the monitor. The polarizing filter has been tampered with.
Like in sunglasses.
Monitors typically have a polarizing filter to reduce reflection.
I don't see anything.
Impossible to see with the naked eye. We're going to have to look at it through a polarized lens.
It looks blue and white. Oh.
Masks. Each one missing a different facial feature.
The senses. They're missing their senses.
Like the monkey statues.
You're right. There must be a connection.
There are blades inside.
And a lot of blood.
And fingers in there too, it looks like.
You know, Riddler likes penalizing his victims for wrong answers.
Safes with electronic locks. Shut tight.
These must be the goal of whatever game we're playing.
Ah, Toronto. I guess I never made that connection.
Prototype of the trap he used on Mori. The armor, extremely sturdy, ensuring there's no possible way to open them other than solving his riddles.
This is an insane way to commit crimes, even for this city.
Metal mesh lining the walls. Riddler has converted this entire place into a giant Faraday cage.
Faraday what?
An enclosure designed to block electromagnetic fields. No signals in or out.
Guess it explains why our phones aren't getting signals. Clever son of a bitch.
There's a link over here. Some fingers in here.
The agent must have been looking for the answer in one of these safes.
He chose the wrong one. Cost him his fingers.
See, because there's, if you looked in here, there was fingers. It's probably the right connection, I imagine.
Another one of Riddler's sick contraptions.
Some kind of murder box, I guess. Well, he was always a wacko, but this takes it to a new level.
Won't budge. Must be locked in place. The glass. It's polarized.
So it is.
Turn me round, but not the right way, and you might live to see another day.
What does it mean?
Means to look at the glass. Over there, man.
It's still warm. There must be some kind of heating element underneath.
This thing is built like an oven. You could be cooked alive in there.
If this door were closed, the portal would be looking right at those monitors. Since the monitors have been tampered with, it's likely there's a message on it. One that can only be seen with a polarized lens.
You won't know until you're inside the box, though.
Achievement!
Hey, I got a hunch. Come here. No matter how careful Riddler is, chances are good he hasn't scrubbed his own computer.
Good call. It's worth checking out.
I recognize some of the names on this list. They're all Waller's people. Names, addresses, phone numbers. We have to warn her.
First, we have to get out of here. Mori, he sold technology to Riddler.
Talk about strange bedfellows. You know, Waller's been keeping pretty tight tabs on Mori for a while now. She must have known. What does it say?
Riddler's not working alone.
Just wonderful. More psychos to worry about.
He and his colleagues, they don't see eye to eye. Apparently they don't like his beef with me.
Hey, maybe we'll get lucky to kill each other.
Oh, I thought that was Maverick talking there. He always talking about missing things. That was a fun game.
That's an agency issue pistol. Packs a hell of a jolt.
I saw it take down Riddler's goons at the casino. It was impressive.
Gotta give it to Waller. Her people have great tech.
More monkey statues.
I'm starting to sense a theme here.
That one is like See No Evil.
Take a look at this.
Huh. Well, that's the same kind of body cam the GCPD issues its officers.
Maybe there's a clue on the recording.
Can't hurt to look.
Achievement!
Because you've been so candid with me, I'm giving you a chance that comrades won't get. A chance at getting out of this alive.
We'll catch you. The agency, they'll find.
I shouldn't have to remind you that you've been chasing me for years. And I've always been 2 steps ahead. If you win the game, I'll let you go free. And you'll get a consolation prize. An exclusive sneak peek into how I'm going to kill all of your colleagues. Now, how is that for motivation?
Screw you!
He had the agent bound while he beat him.
You saw See No Evil? Gotta examine the shoe now.
One shoe melted.
Must belong to poor Cinderella over there.
Well, the bottom of that cage is hot, so that makes sense. Because of the floor, it's tied to that floor.
floor of the box heated up while the agent was inside. He tried standing on one foot to save the other, causing that shoe to catch on fire. When he exited the box, he tried to put the fire out, but couldn't, so he threw off his shoe.
You got a VR in that cowl or something?
Something like that. I've got all the pieces of Riddler's puzzle. Now I need to know what order they happened in.
Achievement! Chapter 3. We're going through the chapters, eh? Well, I don't know how I'm on the chair here.
No connection there. The agent woke up here where his body cam fell off. Once he found he couldn't call for help, he saw the message on the monitors and willingly put himself inside the murder box. The agent's shoe caught fire inside the murder box, so he opened it in a panic. As soon as he was out of the box, he ripped off the burning shoe and threw it. Somewhere in the confusion, he must have missed something crucial.
Crucial was the monitors. The safes, I guess. I don't know.
From where he lost a shoe, the agent beelined for the wall of safes. He opened one, but chose poorly. The blade sliced off his fingers. And there he met his end.
Achievement!
So unclear how and when his eardrums could have burst. The agent made a number of mistakes. Mistakes we can avoid. The heat inside the box forced him to run out before he could
get Riddler's next clue. Poor bastard couldn't withstand the heat.
The Batsuit's armor is heat resistant. It'll buy me more time to find Riddler's next clue. Getting inside the box and starting the game is the only way we're getting out of here.
This is insane. You know that, right? The last man who went in there is dead. There's a good chance it'll kill you too.
Don't worry, Jim. I'm not going to lose this game.
I'm not so sure. But if you say a thing, you usually do
it. You're gonna turn it the wrong way or something, it said.
Hurry the hell up already.
I can almost make out a message.
Like a goddamn oven.
One won't see trouble and one tells no lies. Ask the third if he hides the prize.
The monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But which one is he referring to?
Whichever one it is, the correct safe will have a face with those senses removed.
Yeah, I'll check. Ah, damn it. It's still locked shut.
They should unlock when I open this door.
It was the third one. That is Batgirl's father, yeah.
What the hell?
That's why the guy's ears are bleeding.
You're almost done. That is, if you can withstand my short-range ultrasonic device. Let's test it out, shall we?
The riddle! Use it to open the safe! I'll put a stop to this damn noise!
Right, was it hear no evil, see no evil? I can't remember what it was. Oh, there you go. Tendinitis or whatever. Speak. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, I think, right? Oh, I think I picked the wrong one. Or I didn't push the button on time, one of the two.
What the hell?
Congratulations! You're almost done. That is, if you can withstand my short-range ultrasonic device. Let's test it out, shall we?
The riddle! Use it to open the safe! I'll put a stop to this damn noise!
Maybe it was like hear no evil because of all the sound. Gotta break the speakers.
Just in case.
Damn. Now, for the love of God, whatever's in that safe better be worth all this pain.
It's a homing missile.
What does it home in on?
Looking at its schematics now. A signal. A radio signal. A signal. That's how he died.
How who died?
That's how they'll all die.
Riddler.
Maury sold me missiles for all of my enemies. Everyone on my list gets one. Most won't even know what's coming. For a brief second, their dull existences will light up.
Why are you doing this, Riddler? Haven't you killed enough?
I have a lot of enemies, Batman. While they're still breathing, I still have work to do. I'm trying to get a handle on you, Batman. Partnering with Gordon is one thing. From what I remember of the old days, he's harmless enough.
Yeah, we'll see about that when you're in cuffs.
But the agency, they're a natural enemy to people like you and me. You must be desperate if you're making friends with them. You must be really up against the ropes to want that government scum in your corner.
Whatever the agency is, are worse. You're the one torturing and killing innocents.
You think any of these agents are innocent? The agency uses people, Batman. Corrupts them, breaks their minds. I wasn't always like this. The agency made me.
Oh, this is garbage. Yeah, Waller's a hard-ass, sure, but she had nothing to do with why he's so messed up.
I didn't say Waller, did I? This goes way before her time. But I don't forget.
That's the thing about having a mind like mine. You remember everything.
Whatever happened to you, it doesn't let you off the hook. You're still responsible for all the pain you've caused.
You think I'm asking for mercy? I was running things in Gotham before you could walk. I just wanted to see if the man who saves everyone is really as good as he believes. But then, you already answered that for me, didn't you? When you offloaded my puzzle on your friend. Why don't you tell Gordon here what happened to Lucius Fox? Watch out, Commissioner. For all his preaching, Batman knows when to sacrifice a pawn to win the game. It was a smart move. Getting out of the way of the blast.
You shouldn't have said his name, Riddler. I'll make you pay for what happened to
Don't
Lucius.
say the name, Lucius's name in your mouth.
Death is on you. Look at Gordon. He doesn't know what to make of any of it. Trust is hard-earned, yet easily lost, isn't it? Come on now. Don't get your tights in a twist. I knew you weren't sharp enough to do it on purpose. There's no room at the top for schoolboys who are too squeamish to fight in the gutter. You don't have what it takes to be a player in this town. Not without giving up those values you hold so dear. Game on!
I'll wait for Waller and pass on what we found.
She won't be happy when she finds out Riddler knows about every agency operative in Gotham.
I don't blame her. If they were my cops, no one would be sleeping till we found this Riddler guy.
Just keep your eyes open, Jim. I'll stay on Riddler's tail.
Hey, hold up a sec. What Riddler said in there about the agency, smoke and mirrors, you ask me. But the thing about Lucius Fox and the blast at Wayne Tower, you gotta level with me. You got some connection with that Wayne Tech guy you didn't tell me about?
Lucius Fox was an ally of mine. That got him killed.
I gotta say, the fact I had to learn about it from Riddler instead of you, it doesn't sit right with me at all. I thought we had some trust, you and I. What do you expect me to do with this? Am I just supposed to sit on my hands? Pretend I never heard any of it?
Whatever you do, this has to stay between us.
Oh, does it? Because I, what, just happened to stumble into it?
Uh-oh, my relationship with him changed.
I mean, I wasn't born yesterday. I know you probably have a network of civilians working for you. You can't do the kinds of things you do without a gigantic support system. If you really think it's important this stays between us, then I won't say a word. Batman. I'm sorry for your loss.
No, Batman. Achievement.
I heard your discussion with Commissioner Gordon. Now he knows that Lucius Fox and the Batman were allies. Gordon's dangerously close to figuring out who you are. If he does find out, I have no idea how he'll react.
He looked me straight in the eye, Alfred. He's been our friend a long time. He deserves to know.
I understand that, Bruce, but he's still too close for comfort. I'm sorry, but he is. You were radio silent for so long. Tell me, did you find out how Lucius died?
This is a missile I found in Riddler's workshop. The explosion at Wayne Tower. We were thinking about it all wrong. The puzzle wasn't an explosive. It was an emitter. When it was solved, it emitted a signal. You heard it earlier. If allowed to play too long, it becomes a launch signal.
Dear God, you did solve the box. We just didn't know it.
The Batcave Scrambler blocked the signal.
Poor Lucius. Wayne Tower offered no such protections. Our tight little family has gotten smaller because of it. It was
Uh-oh, that's
three of us
crappy.
looking out for each other. Now it's two.
With Lucius gone, we need to find someone to take over his role.
No one could ever fill his shoes. But you're right. Between the Lady Arkham affair and losing Lucius in this gruesome fashion, it's clear we're up against a new class of criminal. This war of ours, it may be too much for us on our own. The list of agency operatives from Riddler's workshop. He plans to do the same thing to them.
It's a hit list. It's only useful if he has a way to target the agents, though. And I doubt he's sending them all puzzle boxes. Hold on, let's just walk through it. He's hacked their cell phones. He could pinpoint the location of any one of these operatives.
Here we go.
His signal through their phone to make them a target of a missile strike.
Can you block it?
If I can get a clean copy of the signal, yes. It's the only way I can get a clean version of the signal. It's pretty grim, Alfred. You don't have to watch.
I can handle it. I've never been one to shy away from duty, however unpleasant.
Let's get this over with.
Sorry about the cough and attack there. One day these coughs will go away.
Out of the building. Get yourself out.
What are you talking? What did you figure out?
I've solved the Riddler's puzzle, Bruce.
He knew he was going to die. Can you switch to audio only, please?
Tell Tiffany that I love her. That I'm sorry I wasn't around more.
Lucius?
We really made a difference, didn't we? Batman?
I shouldn't have watched this. I'll go get that tea, Master Bruce.
Or Alfred.
All right. Now I just need to create a filter to get a clean version of the signal. And then match up the points found in both sound files.
Dwayne. Tiffany. Tiffany. Batman? Batman? Bruce? Bruce? Tower. Tower. their sable. To their sable. Riddler. Riddler.
What am I supposed to link?
Tiffany. Tiffany.
It's a match.
There's Bruce and Bruce.
Bruce. Bruce.
The waveforms match. There. I've piggybacked on a Riddler's cell phone hack. They'll recognize any incoming signal match and shut down, negating a launch. Makes sense for me to have the signal on me as well.
What for?
Riddler still has functioning missiles. Once he finds out I've blocked his targets, he may decide to launch indiscriminately. But with the signal, I might be able to divert them. Tiffany gave me this the day Lucius died. Let's put it to good work. It's not a theory I really want to test.
So we had better find Riddler first. There is always Riddler's second in command. Eli Nabel, arrested after his attack on the casino. None of the authorities have gotten anything out of him yet.
Unknown contact.
What is it?
That John guy from the funeral, from Arkham. Who actually sounds like he's keeping his word. Mori, huh? John thinks that Mori can get us Riddler's location.
You believe him?
Maybe we should go back to the beginning. Bring Rumi Mori up on the back computer. Either of them could potentially lead me to him.
The question is, which is more likely to help you?
Mori's a businessman. Given the right incentive, he could be persuaded to talk. He sure can't have any love for Riddler after his attempted murder at the casino.
I'd say he'd respond better to a more genteel approach. Peer-to-peer as Bruce Wayne. However, the agency is watching him. If Waller finds out that Bruce Wayne sought a parley with Mori, she'll not be best pleased. On the other hand, Riddler's lieutenant,
Eli Nabel, took a go at me in the casino. Put up quite a fight.
cracking him will be tougher, more physical. Certainly a job for Batman. He's currently in Waller's custody in a GCPD holding cell. Interrogating Nabel there would be a visible endorsement of Waller's authority. Gordon won't like it.
So either Waller doesn't like it or Gordon doesn't like it. More exciting to be Batman, though.
I'll talk to Eli. It'll be nice to catch up. Tell Waller I'm on my way.
This is Batman's secretary.
Oh, Batman. Gordon's in briefing the deputy ops.
I'm sure I'd want to know you were here. Waller's agency people commandeered the whole precinct. Pretty much moved in. They give you any trouble, I'll straighten them out. Running around like they own the place. They got no respect for the way we do things.
You have Eli Nabel in custody. Take me to him.
Nabel's my prisoner, not hers.
Says who?
4 of my agents went missing, including Agent Avesta. I don't have time for a pissing contest.
Your agents are missing?
We believe Riddler took them. If the body you found in his workshop is anything to go by, we don't have much time. Riddler warned us the last time we nearly caught him in Sudan. Said he'd hit back if we got too close.
Sounds like you need my help.
If it gets my people back, then sure. Riddler's lieutenant hasn't given us a damn thing. I'm hoping you'll have better luck making him talk.
That's why I'm here.
Come on, then.
Just remember, the commissioner likes things by the book.
Gordon told me you talked to Riddler in the workshop. You say anything I should know?
Riddler said he had a history with the agency. Claims your people broke him. Made him insane.
That maniac was insane long before he came on my radar.
He implied it was before your time.
He can tell me all about it after Nabel gives him up. You know, I saw what you did to Carmine Falcone last year. Dangling a 60-year-old man off a high-rise was certainly effective. You ask me, you could have gone further.
What's your point?
Use any means necessary. As long as you get Nabel to tell us where Riddler is. My agents' lives are...
Oh, we got stars for Star.
These have to come off.
I'll get him to talk. Whatever it takes.
You and me, we're doers, Batman. We know.
Thank you, Matt. Much appreciated. Oh, he's hiding under the table.
I believe you two have met before. Get up and get in that goddamn chair. Probably best to keep this off the record. Unless you prefer me to leave it on. If you're worried what Gordon might think.
I've got nothing to hide. From Gordon or anyone else.
Need anything else?
I'm good.
Batman.
They roughed you up pretty bad, Eli. And still you didn't crack. You're tough. I'll give you that.
I'm so glad you're here. These people, they ain't cops. They ran the cops off. But I heard about you. You'll keep them, keep her from killing me. Riddler said you had rules against that. Against killing.
Time's running out, Eli, so don't test it.
Just get me out of here.
Talk, and I'll think about it.
I can't!
We don't have time for carrots, Batman. Only thing moving this mule is a big old stick. You get me?
I'm getting there, Waller. Just working up to it.
Good. Then I'll let you do your job.
Waller's just as bad in this as she's in Suicide Squad.
I already said I can't tell you. And I said it a million times to the guys before. The only thing I'm more scared of than dying is pissing him off. You've seen his machines. He can hurt you in ways they don't got names for.
I can make sure Riddler never gets to you, Eli. I can protect you,
Just help me find him.
You still don't get it. Riddler has a plan that no one can stop. You can't beat him. He studied you too well. And the agency? They don't have a chance. He can destroy them anytime he wants with a phone call.
Matt, thank you for liking. Much appreciated.
He has no idea you protected the
And thank you for the stars.
There's no one that could save me if I cross him.
I meant what I said. Give him up, and I'll make that danger go away. No one else has to die.
There's no getting away from him. He could be anywhere with his signal.
Bruce, his fear of Riddler is too great. You have to get in his head somehow.
There's nothing you can do, Batman.
We'll see about that.
Wait, is that signal? You're calling a missile right to us.
You got 90 seconds, Eli. Talk.
Batman, shut that thing off right now!
You're insane! You'll kill us all!
It's counting down, Eli. What are you going to do about it?
You're bluffing. There's cops outside this door.
You're gonna get us all killed!
Maybe. Maybe not. Are you willing to take the chance?
I'll tell you! Please, just make it stop! He's on a ship in Gotham Bay!
What ship?
The Lady of Dublin. The missiles are there, too. It's where they're launched from.
Oh, we got the info.
You're crazier than he is.
Oh, God damn.
The Lady of Dublin. Get back up and meet me there.
Batman. Gordon's still gonna be pissed you went around him, but I appreciate you holding back.
I could have beat him up, but I didn't. I was a good Batman.
Armed men on board. This must be it. Be careful, Bruce. Who knows what the Riddler has up his sleeve?
Okay, I gotta be ready for an action sequence here. Well, that guy's gonna drown.
I'm on board, Al.
Do you see Riddler?
You won't get away with this. What do you think he's gonna
I hear him. Need to get a better angle.
You'll see what's gonna happen. My friends will all be here soon. Then you'll see what this is all in aid of. You agency imbeciles.
We found him.
You and your
interrogation of Riddler's man produced solid intelligence. No sight of the missiles yet, though.
They must be here somewhere.
And it's hard to blame individuals.
Hostages.
They appear to be more of Waller's agents.
Agents of Vesta and Blake are likely among them, based on what Waller told us.
I'll give it to you. You're relentless. I'll admit it's going to feel satisfying to get my revenge.
A good spot for cover.
Even if you're really just a small part of my past.
What are you talking about?
You'll see what I mean soon, of course. They might be angry I brought you here, but when they understand why, they'll recognize my brilliance.
Wait for
After
it.
all, I am uniquely qualified to see the big picture. It's often a
Don't want him
struggle
raising an
making
alarm.
people see that.
I'll move when he isn't looking.
I'm sure you can understand. I get it. Sometimes my methods can appear a little unorthodox. You brought this on yourselves. All of you. You government clods really thought you were smarter than... It's clear you're in desperate need of some schooling. My friends will be here soon. I'd keep your mouths shut until then.
Hostages first. When they're safe, I can find the missiles. Targeting online now.
Ready, Bruce.
Let the hostages go, Riddler.
You can't possibly think clunking a few heads is enough to make me roll over.
Now we got the gadgets.
Batman! Batman!
Agent Avesta.
The floor, it's heating up! Thanks, Batman. Are you all right?
Uh-oh. Now Batman's caught.
Oh, God. Not more.
He's wearing something that neutralizes the shock device.
I've memorized your playbook, Batman. I know all your shallow tricks. Poor Eli held out longer than I expected, but I knew he'd give me up eventually. All part of the plan.
How's the Elijah? Oh, there's missiles.
Bait. Just like the hostages were bait. I knew you couldn't bear to let these agents die.
Thank you for liking, much appreciated.
The little people. That makes you weak. I saw how you saved Maury. I saw how angry you got about what happened to Fox.
You're wrong, Riddler. It makes me a hero. It's what makes me different from you.
It's why I'm out here, and you're in there. About to meet your maker. My partners were supposed to be here to see this. I guess I can just show them the bodies. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Get them wrong, one of these agents gets torn apart.
You won't get away with this.
You get them right, this happens. I designed this for you, Batman. The hero who saves.
You need some bat earplugs. Jason, thank you for liking.
Let's get started. We have a lot to get through. I'm curious to see how you'll handle it all.
It's me you want, not Agent Avesta. Let her go.
Oh no, she needs to be in there with you. You can handle the sonic blasts. But her... I estimate 3 blasts at most before her insides rupture. It should be easy, Batman. Close to the heart. I solved a puzzle box for the Bat. Now I'm dead. And I mean dismembered. Closed casket for sure, kind of dead. Who am I?
If you know the answer, please say it. My colleagues will die otherwise.
Speak up, Batman.
Lucius.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Cameron, thank you for liking.
Fox.
Very good, Batman. You saved a life. But...
Thank you.
Batman, don't answer any more of his questions.
No, Blake. I won't let you die.
Number 2, also completely self-evident. I am black and blue and bleeding from the ears. Who am I?
I think he means me. Say it.
Don't you dare answer that.
Please. Don't let him die. Say it.
I need an answer.
You're too clever for me, Riddler. I don't know how to answer.
Finally, some humility from you. It's a shame it's not what I'm looking for.
No.
Avesta, please! Please!
Blake!
Oh!
Blake!
Enough, Riddler. You've made your point.
Just one more, Batman. And then it'll all be over.
I'll distract him. Just get us out of here.
I'm the sharpest mind you'll ever meet. The original genius with Gotham at my feet. Who am I?
You're Riddler. Riddler's the genius.
Well done, Agent. You answered so quickly, you almost deserve not to get the blast.
I'll fire one of the missiles.
You're much too slow, Batman. I think we're through.
Uh-oh. I don't know what I was trying to link to there. Oh, I gotta try again. She easily plug one of her ears.
You're much too slow, Batman.
Oh.
I think we're through.
I'll fire one of the missiles. Use the Batcam to make it target the cage. And use Riddler's trap to protect Iman and myself from the explosion.
I like what you're saying, Agent Avesta, but you're not the one I need to hear it from.
Missile armed, ready to fire.
Who's the genius, Batman? Who's on top of Gotham now? I want to hear it from you.
I am.
What are you doing?
Yeah, like a little smug
No!
I wonder if I could have saved all three of them.
You think you're clever, don't you? You Who's the man who's got no time left?
The Riddler.
Thought you'd get such an easy one right.
Those missiles are aimed right at the city.
The answer is Batman.
Pretty clever move.
This can't be happening.
KO.
Batman, Blake and I tracked Riddler's ship through the Port Authority logs. We thought we could bring him in ourselves. Riddler snatched us straight off the docks. I should have said no. Urged caution. And now my colleagues are... All we did was hand Riddler more hostages.
Not true. I wouldn't have been able to stop him without you.
Thank you, Batman. It's good to know we've got Riddler in custody.
Well, we haven't really secured him. Put some bat cuffs on him.
It's over, Riddler. Look forward to a padded cell.
Is this really a victory for you, Batman?
You're the one in cuffs.
Yeah, but you're the one that broke your precious rules. You let one agent die to save another. Well, that can't sit right with you. Can it? Must be an uncomfortable feeling.
Agent Avesta will understand. I had to protect her.
Oh, yes. Had to protect the lady. Let the gruff government man die.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what a hero.
Exactly. No gruff government guy.
To his limits. Tested his precious code. And my comrades would have been impressed. Set this all up to show them. I thought they'd back me up, even if they didn't agree. They left me here to deal with you alone. They betrayed me. They didn't come.
You need better friends. The term thick as thieves, it's a lie.
I need smarter friends. They're all so small-minded. None of them had vision. Unless that white-faced prick set me up. Never told them to meet me here.
Uh-oh. You just got sniped or something.
They broke the pact.
The pact?
Get out of his neck, dude.
Lock the ship down. And radio for more medics. That... Riddler, is he... Oh, God damn it. I hope it was worth it, Batman.
Worth it?
Riddler's a damn corpse. One of Waller's agents is dead. We're not getting a shred of usable testimony out of Eli Nabel.
It's almost as good as watching a movie. Telltale games are really good that way, actually.
You went behind my back with Waller and buried the investigation in the process. This is beyond the goddamn pale. What were you thinking? How could you undermine me like that?
I'm sorry, Jim. I didn't mean for this to happen.
No, I'm the one who's sorry. The trust between us, it's gone. Our partnership is over. No more sharing evidence. No more squad car backup. The GCPD can't support you anymore.
We've done so much for Gotham, Jim. Don't break up our team over this.
I can't work with someone who goes behind my back. And that's all there is to it.
Well, he wasn't a meaning.
I just want to know how we got to such a messed up place.
You're supposed to be the one with the answers, Commissioner. Way I see it, Batman took initiative getting a confession from Nabel. You, on the other hand, Gordon, well, you've been 2 steps behind Riddler from the start.
That is not fair.
This mess here, that's on you. Batman's had his priorities straight, but you...
Now wait a damn minute.
Your stonewalling the agency has screwed us all.
This is my fault, and mine alone. It's not fair to let Gordon take the blame.
Now you side with me. Don't do me any favors, Batman. I can look after myself.
Do as he asks. Right now, we need doers, not complainers. Consider it a kindness I don't just straight up get you demoted. Now leave us alone. We have sensitive case details to discuss.
You two deserve each other.
Bet you Amanda Waller's gonna turn out to be real bad in this.
This city is about to find itself in a crisis the likes of which it's never known. Riddler had a crew. Not just any crew. The worst criminal minds from all over the world, here in Gotham. You come across anything about them? I'm assuming you've heard of them by now.
There's a guy, calls himself John Doe. He's either a member, or he knows who is.
That confirms some theories we had. Doe's a one-time patient of another member of the group.
Was it Joker? That was... maybe.
Dr. Harleen Quinzel.
Oh, Harley Quinn.
Psychiatrist at Arkham Asylum. She's very elusive.
It is
Keeps
Joker.
her head down. Much more so than that show-off Riddler. He was going to be my way in once we captured him alive. But now I have you to lean on. A man who lives on both sides of the line and knows exactly when to cross it. Yes, you and I will be working together very closely. Bruce Wayne.
What? She knows? Achievement! So it tells you on the choices you made. This is like episode 1. There's a few, I think there's 4 or 5 episodes. It tells you what choices you made and how everybody else that played the game chose. So these are like Telltale games, are all like this. So you and 23% of players left Gordon feeling betrayed. He appreciated you backing him up in front of Waller. He was glad that you trusted him with the truth, but because you went behind his back, he feels betrayed. So me and 77% of players left Tiffany furious. She was thrilled when you told her she could help with the puzzle. At the funeral, she was consoled when you expressed your concern for her. But because you told her the truth about endangering Lucius, she now feels betrayed. 68% of players saw Alfred become vengeful. He was proud when you said you would bring the Riddler in the lawful way. Showing him the video of Lucius filled him with vengeance. He did not approve of your merciful interrogation of Eli. You and 41% of players helped John to become hopeful. At the funeral, he was hurt when you dragged him away. He was proud of himself. He chose a card you liked. Even though you didn't agree to meet his friends, he's hopeful that you'll come around. You and 38% of players forged a relationship with Waller that was collaborative. She was not happy when you defended Gordon. She did not approve of your merciful interrogation of Eli, but because you decided to go with her instead of Gordon, she is looking forward to working with you. You and 44% of players left Iman guilt-ridden. She's impressed that you stood up to Waller. She was sorry she angered you when asking you questions. She's full of guilt for having survived when her friends did not. What did you tell Gordon about your connection to Lucius? You and 82% of players confessed to Gordon that Lucius was an ally. 9.9% of players told Gordon you could not talk about Lucius. 1.6% of players were silent when Gordon asked you about Lucius. 6.4% of players lied to Gordon about your connection to Lucius. So most of us need to pick that. You choose Maury or Eli. You and 25.7% chose to interrogate Eli for information on Riddler. So most people actually went the other way and chose not to go after this guy, but go after the other option there. You have questions about, maybe you can answer? How did you get the information? You and 79% bluffed Eli into the signal. So some people beat him, I guess. You and 28% of players let the agents die by not answering Riddler's question. But most people answered his questions, it looks like. You and 82% confessed to Gordon that Lucius was an ally. You and 25% of players chose to interrogate Eli for information on the Riddler. You and 79% bluffed him. You and 28 let the agents die. Now it's going to show a preview of the next one, I think. Or not. Maybe it doesn't do that anymore. So there's 5 episodes total. So we'll play through this story on Fridays until I'm done those, I guess. A little bit early. Maybe I should do it on a different day. I'm not sure, but you can see that we're going to be encountering Harley Quinn soon. I guess it's good because if I'm sick, Friday was a good one to rest up, and then maybe I might switch it to Thursday or something. So you'll be able to see next week's episode. And they have something. If I was on Twitch, it has crowd play. What is crowd play? Oh no, okay, no, it's not Twitch thing. It's looks like if you were playing it with your family, they could log in with their phone and click. Maybe that might work on streaming too. I don't know. Dr. J's in the house. We're gonna see Harley. It'll be exciting. What's your question that maybe I can answer? I don't think I'm gonna do another episode tonight, though. I don't think I should do another 2.5 hours. You'll never be able to stay up, Timothy. You'll never know what happened. But, you know. About Venom in Spider-Man 3. He was a villain. Then he says, "Let there be carnage." He saves. Is he... Do another one. He was a villain. And then he saves. In Let There Be Carnage, he stays. Is he still a hero or a villain? He's kind of an anti-hero. Is what he is. As far as it goes, he Venom's kind of one of those guys. Is kind of one of those guys that's a good guy and a bad guy. So, and then Carnage was a kind of a bad guy in the Venom movie, one of the Venom movies. What? I'll second that. I want another. He's an anti-hero. See, Matt says he's an anti-hero as well. He's like Deadpool in that way. You know, Deadpool's not really a hero. He's an anteater hero. There's an anteater hero, I think. But yeah, there's Hey, why is there like 3 people talking and it only says I have 2? Weird. Your typing's not too good when you're tired. Yeah, he's in the Venom movies, played by Tom Hardy. He's more of a good guy, and then in Spider-Man 3, he was more of a bad guy. But he's kind of a good guy on sometimes, and he's kind of a bad guy on sometimes in the comics. And same with Deadpool. Sometimes Deadpool's fighting good guys as well too, you know. A lot of these heroes are on both sides. But Carnage is definitely a bad guy, and Venom's more a good guy in the movies at least. Although he does eat people's heads, you know, like he kills people. So that's where he's not totally a good guy. You know, like a lot of the heroes never kill anyone. He's not supposed to have saves in it twice. Well, there you go. So, as far as it goes, I am gonna finish playing through this series.
I didn't get that. Do you try again?
Oh, be quiet, Siri. But yeah, I'll be playing through this series. Although because it's only 2.5 hours an episode, it might work better on a different night. But so, you know, if you haven't followed me, !notify to be alerted when I go live. But I do start generally just a little bit after 7. Alright, let's go. I'm ready. You're never going to be able to stay up 2.5 hours more. It's like midnight. No. Yeah, midnight. 12:30 my time. But it makes an uneven number. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do another one tonight, though. Encore, encore, encore. I'm also ready. Except my voice is getting raspy and stuff because I'm sick. But I appreciate it. and I will play more. So make sure you follow me if you haven't followed me. Timothy's interested in the story now, eh? Matt, Cameron, everybody's into it. 1:42 a.m. I'll be taking it at 4:30 in the morning. And you know what happens at the end of every one of these, Timothy? They ramp it up to make it that you want to play the next one after it. So, but yeah, if you like this style of game, though, Telltale is a pretty cool company. I would say their two best games, there was Walking Dead, the Walking Dead series. The first Walking Dead game, Telltale Walking Dead, is based on the TV series Walking Dead. Or the comic Walking Dead, I guess, technically. That was a really good one. And they had like 6 or 7 games of Walking Dead. And there's a Borderlands game, like it's based on a video game series, but there's a Telltale version of Borderlands. That one's really good, and there's one called Wolf Among Us, which is also very good. By the way, if you want to see the first part of Batman here, I believe I have one of the early. You can see like on my YouTube page. This is like years ago. You can't let down to me. Years ago, I played this game, and I just had a little tiny clip of me trying out streaming. This is before I even did Mixer, and you can see I'm playing the season 1 of this game. Oh, you're fine. But yeah, no, it's interesting. So I really enjoy these Telltale games. So I don't know, they are like kind of like watching a movie though. Like there's another one I have that's that I haven't played yet too, which is Game of Thrones based as well. You're supposed to make a Wolf Among Us 2 as well at some point. But anywho, I'm sick this weekend at least. You know, you can hear it in my voice. So I'm gonna rest up and get better. But thank you everyone for hanging out. Sophie for sharing, and McDad for sharing. I actually don't no plans to see the new Batman movie. I'm a big fan, but I did like this. It's kind of interesting. I mean, the new Batman's good too. It was well done, different. But yeah, hopefully you'll watch more of these. Matt, thank you for the stars earlier. Everybody for chatting. Timothy, Matt, Cameron. Our most recent chatters here. You're wondering about the poll. Did you watch the Batman? 67% said no. That's interesting. You're not a big fan of DC Comics. 33% said yes, by the way. Let's put the poll results in here. Surprised that Maverick didn't sit and watch this, actually, because it is like a movie. Well, you know, some DC comics are good. Some Marvel comics are good. It depends on which ones you're talking about. Batman's very popular. And he's kind of an interesting hero because he's got really good villains. Superman, I don't find as interesting because, you know, he's pretty pretty overpowered. And you know, I don't know. I never got into the Aquaman movie with Jason Momoa was okay, but I didn't get into the comic book Aquaman or really or Flash or anybody like that. Mostly just Batman. You know what show I liked was I can't remember what it's called. But it was on for a while. It got canceled, but it was about all the people in the DC universe that were not superhumans, like superheroes. It was just like the everyday Joes that kind of worked at a Bruce Wayne company, and it was starring Alan Tudyk, I think his name is. That was pretty good. It was kind of a comedy, but that was an interesting show. Too bad they didn't really keep it going, but I enjoyed that one. But anyhow, my voice is kind of raspy. That's why I'm going to bed. We'll do it again. Probably Assassin's Creed tomorrow. And probably be doing some Animal Crossing early next week. And then stick another Batman in there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it Friday or not, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go rest. Thank you for being here, everybody.